Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that can be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And today I'm doing this with a puzzle called The Return of Crystallization by Will Power. I believe I did a crystallization puzzle. It would have been like 5 months ago by Will Power, because this one's been in the queue longer than that. So who knows what's going on with me? I don't. This is a puzzle where my tester said that I would enjoy this. It looks more daunting than it is the way that it was explained to me. Of course, there'll be a link below to where you can try this for yourself. I believe this puzzle is coming out on the day that a new Sudoku Tubes set is starting, and if it's not, then it will be starting in the next day or so. So you can look forward to that. Let's just get straight into it. So what do we have? Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in the whole row, not just the first 8 cells, in every row and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Pink pills, so these pills that have pink shading behind them, you could have done this with pink pills now, but it's possible this puzzle is older than that. The sum of the two pills or circles below them. Pills are read from left to right. So the digit that gets written into this is the sum of the 2 digits that are written into this. So for example, if this was, let me try and think how to put this. If this was 152, then these 2 cells being maybe, let's say, 73, and I don't know, I can't do the math, but whatever it would be, this would be 73 plus whatever that to be 152. That's how that would work. Let's do something simpler. If this was 7 and 4, this would have to be 11, which doesn't work, but that's the way it works by math. Anyway, that's how that works. We've got ratio pairs, so digits separated by a black dot are in a ratio of 2 to 1. So those digits are in a ratio of 2 to 1, so are those, so are those. X pairs, digits separated by an X, sum to 10, and not all possible dots or X's are shown. So they're the rules. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Where's the best place to start? Well, hang on. This has to be a 1 because this is the sum of 2 digits, but this is a 2-digit number. The maximum this could be is 8 and 9, which would make this 17. But this has to be a 2-digit number. If this was a 2, one of these would have to be higher. So this is a 1. So this is, and therefore this has to be a 2. Because if this was any higher than a 2, these 2 digits would need to sum to at least 30. But this is a tens digit and 2 units digits. And we've already know that a 2 units digits can't sum to more than 17. So 10 plus 17, the maximum this could be is a 27. And then I've got the same thing happening here. This has to be a 3 because 20 something plus a single digit can't be into the 40 range and it can't stay in the 20 range because the 2 is in the same box. That's a 3. If these were not in the same box, it's like if these digits could repeat, it might be able to be, say, 12 plus 4 is 16, but these are in the same box. The tens digit has to be different. So if this is a 3, this is a 6. And now I know what these digits are because on a black dot, you can only put a low digit and its even double. Pardon me. A low digit and its even double because 1 would double to 2, 2 would double to 4, 3 would double to 6, 4 would double to 8. Now 3, 6 is not available, but you can never put a high odd digit on a black dot because a 5, 7 and 9, you can't double them and nothing doubles to them because they're odd. I think I'm losing a tooth. Anyway, hopefully it's just food stuck in it. Although I did just brush my teeth. Anyway, so these have to be the 1, 2, 4, 8, and these have to be the 5, 7, 9. But how does this work? These have to sum to 10. Well, they can't be 4, 6 because the 4 is not available, and they can't be 1, 9 because I can't put 9 in any of them. So there's no 1 or 4 in here. This is the 2, 8, taking 2, 8 out of those. So this is the 1, 4. And these are the 5, 7, 9. This can't be an 8. If this was an 8, this would be at least 30 plus 80, which means this would have to be 110, but I can't do 110 in 2 digits. Like this would be a 3-digit number if this was an 8. So this is the 2 and this is the 8. Now the 8 goes with the 4 and therefore that makes this the 1. So it's 31 plus 28, which is 59, and this is 59, which means this is a 1, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. I don't think that was needed, that X, because you could get this giving us the 59, and I think this had to be a 1, because if this is 2, though I've got the same digits. This is a sum of two tens digits. And if that's the sum of two tens digits, I can't get to 200. I can't have two digits below 100 summing to a... I could have two digits below 100 summing to another digit below 100, but this is a 3-digit number. And I can't have two digits below 100 summing to a number over 200. It doesn't work. The maximum would be 99 and 98, even if I could repeat digits, and that's only 197. So it doesn't work. This always had to be a 1. So I don't think this X was needed. But anyway. But I need to get to 100 and something. So this could be... It can't be a 3, because that would mean the highest this could be would be 38, and 59 plus 38 is only 97. So this has to be 4, 6, 7, or 8. Now, if this is a 4, this is a 6. If this is a 6, this is a 4, which it can't be. A 7 would need a 3, and an 8 would need a 2. So 4, 6 would be 46 plus 59. Hang on, but if this is a 4, this is a 6. And right. But if this is a 4, this is a 6. And 50 plus 40 doesn't get me anywhere near 160. This isn't a 4. So this isn't a 6. So this is 2 or 3. Now 50 plus 70. If this is a 5, this is a 7. Sorry, if this is a 7, these are both 3. 59 plus 73 would be 122. Sorry, 132, because this would be 120 plus this, so it'd 132. So this would be 3 and this would be 2. If this is an 8, this is a 2. 50, no, this would be 131, which I can't do. If this is an 8, this is a 2. And I'd need 131. This can't be an 8. This is a 7. These are both 3, and that's a 2. Okay, that's nice, because I can't make this what was it, 131? 141. I can't make it, no, if this is an 8, this is a 5 and a 3. This is a 2, but 5 and 3 here is already 130. That's an easier way of seeing it. This had to be 7, 3. And this does work. Because 59 plus 73, that's 12, plus 120 is 132. Right, that works. Okay. So those digits sum to 11, because it's 31 minus 20, because this is a tens digit. So those digits sum to 11. Is that what I'm looking at? They can't be 9, or they can't be 9, 2. If they're 8, 3, it's 8, 3. If they're 7, 4, I think they're in either order. If they're 5, 6, it's 5 and 6. I'm not seeing how that breaks. Well, this has to be a minimum of 24. So these have to sum to at least 14. So there's no 4 in here. There's no 4 in here. Because if I put a 4 in either of these, the maximum that these could sum to would be 13, and this would have to be as low as 23, and it can't be. So 4 is in one of those two, meaning this isn't a 4, which means this isn't a 7. Because these sum to 11. Should I be looking at more Sudoku? I don't know. Oh, no, I just do this math. I know what that digit is. Because this is 60, so those digits have to sum to 13, which is 8 plus 5, and there's no 5 in either of those. Okay. But those still sum to 11. What about this? If this is 28, those digits would have to sum to 18. And they can't, because then these would have to be 9 and 9. That's not an 8. This is a 4 or a 5. So these digits sum to 14 or 15 only. If they sum to 14, they could be 9, 5. They couldn't be 8, 6. So they'd be 5 and 9. If they sum to 15, they'd have to be 7, 8. Oh, that's not great, is it? Because they couldn't be 9, 6. But these now have to... Whoa. This can't be an 8 or a 9. Because if this was an 8 or a 9, these would have to sum to 18 or 19, and they can't. There's no 8, 9 there. But these have to sum to 14 or 15. So if it's 14, this is the 9, because I can't do 7, 7. So this is the 9. And if it's 15... Sorry, if it's 14, it's 5, 9. And if it's 15, I can't do 5, 10. It's 7, 8. So this is an 8 or a 9. And this has to be 15 or 17. So the lowest digit I can put in here is 6, 7, 8, or is 6. Because if I put a 5 in here, the other digit would need to be 10. And that doesn't work. And there's no 6 there. Okay, maybe I need to investigate this. It's looking... Well, what can this be? Because it could be 1, 2, but only if I put 1, 2 in that order. It can't be, it can't be 2, 4, because I can't put 2 or 4 there. It can't be 3, 6, because I can't use 3 in either of them. And if it's 4, 8, it's 4, 8. Now, if this was 4, 8, this would be 80 something. But this would be a 4. So 80 something and 4, this would have to be a 1, and it can't be. So the minimum here would be 3, and that minimum here is 3. If this was an 8, then this would need to be a 3-digit number. That's a 1, so that's a 2. Okay. That's a really interesting way of finding that, but it is true. So this can't be 1, 2, or 2, 4. Pardon me. Oh, hay fever and everything has been bad. I'm still recovering from a cold. 1, 2. This is 3, 6, or 4, 8. So this is 13, 14, 16. Oh, heck. So what could this be? Well, what could this be, actually? Let's look at this. Now, this can't be 19. So what can this be? Okay, if it's 1, 9, it has to be 1, 9. But it can't be 1, 9 because I've already got, these are the sum of at least 2-digit numbers, and that's at least a 3. So this is at least... Can't be 1, 9. It can't be 2, 8 because I can't put 2 or 8 here. It can't be 3, 7. This is 4, 6, and I know the order. This is the 6. This is the 4. So this does sum to 46. That's actually remarkable, isn't it? So it sums to 46. So if this is 13, this would have... well, that doesn't work. If this is 13, this would need to be 33, which doesn't work. This isn't 13. So this isn't a 6. If this is 14, this would need to be 32, which it could be. If this is 16, this would need to be if this is 16, then this would need to be 30, and it can't be. So this isn't a 6 and this isn't a 3. So this is now 4, 8. If this is 18, that doesn't work either. Because if this is 18, the units digit ends in 0. So this is 4, 8. This is 14. 46 minus 14 is 32. That is incredible. Now I need to blow my nose again. Sorry, there's been bad hay fever and I'm recovering from a cold. Okay, 46. Now this is either 4 or 5, and it can't be 4 because it's 46 plus a single digit number. So the maximum it could be is 46 plus 9, which gets me to 55. Now, it can't be 55. What are these digits? 2, 3, 7, and 9. Now, this gets me to at least 50 something. So this can't be 2 or 3, or I'd still be in the 40 range. So this is 7 or 9. So 46 plus 7 is 53, and 46 plus 9 is 55. This is 7 and 3. Wow, this is so cool. This is 2, 9. And this is fully resolved. That's crazy. It does put 3 in one of those two by Sudoku. Puts 2 right there by Sudoku. So what's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. And the 4 and the 8 look up, making that the 6, and I can take 6 out of both of those. This triple? 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure what to do with that. Well, that's a 7, 8, 9 triple. So 8 is in one of those two and not there. And these are 1, 2, 3, and 6. So the 1 is in one of those two. The 2 is in one of those two. The 3 is in one of those two. It's got to be something I can do here that I've missed. Three is in one of those two. That's a 4. This 4 and this 4 means 4 is in here, but I can't put 4 in here because the minimum sum is 15 and the other digit would need to be 11. That's a 4, which makes this a 5. So it's 25. This can't be a 3 anymore. This is the 3. 25 plus 6 gets me to 31. And this is 25 now, so these need to sum to 15, which can't be 5, 10. This is 7, 8. These now need to sum to 17, which can't be a 6 or a 7 because the other digit would need to be 10 or higher. There's no 7 here. There's no 6 or 7 here. This is an 8, 9, making this a 2 and this a 9. This is beautiful. Okay, what do I need to put in here? I need to put a 4 in one of those two. Not sure where about the 5 in one of those two. I've got 6. I now have to put 7 and 9. Well, this is a 4, 7 pair because I can't put 4 or 7 in either of those. So the 5 must go here, and that's the 9. And the 7 makes that the 4 and that the 7, which means this isn't the 7. This is actually a triple. The 7 and the 8 looks across, making that the 9, which makes that the 7, which makes that the 8. This is now a pair. Well, the 3 says this isn't the 3. So this is the 3, this is the 1, and this is the 2, 6. And the 2 makes that the 6 and that the 2. Oh, this is cool. 1, 6, and 7. The 1 and the 6 make that the 7. Take that out. The 6 looks down, making that the 1 and that the 6. This triple, 5, 8, and 9. The 9 says that there's no 9 in any of those, so that's the 9, and I'll use the 5 to make that the 8 and that the 5. The 8 looks up, making that the 4 and that the 8. Let's look at these triples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. No 5 there. No 6 or 7. That's the 5 because of the 6 and the 7 there. So these are a 6, 7 pair. So these are 1, 2, and 3. Because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1, 2, and 3. There's no 3 there. There's no 2 there. There's no 1 there. And that is... Meh. This is a 4. The 7 makes this the 9, which makes that the 4. And that's all resolved. So now let's use that 9 to make that the 7. And let's look at these triples maybe. So this column, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have 6, 8, or 9. The 6 and the 8 make that the 9. Take 9 out of those. Don't see how to resolve those. But I do need 1, 4, and 5. The 1, 4 here means that's the 5. Take the 5 out of the others. Don't see how to resolve the 1, 4. But I can do some work over here, I'm sure. So, not see what to do with 1. 2 is in one of these two. 3 is up here in one of these two. 4, I'm not sure. 5 is up here with the 3. This is a 3, 5 pair because 3 and 5 can't be in those, and 3, 5, 3, 5. So 3, 5. This is a 3, 5 pair, and the 5 is looking up, making that the 3 and that the 5. The 3 looks down, making that the 1, which makes that the 2, which makes that the 3. The 2 looks up, saying that's not the 2, that's the 2. For this row, this is a 1, 4 to complete the row, but in this column, the 4 is looking up, making that the 1, which makes that the 4, which makes that the 1. Okay. Of course, the 9 looks down, making that the 8 and that the 9. So in this column, I need to put a 6 or a 7. So this is a 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, I still need to put a 4 in this box. This 4 says not there. That 4 says not there. So this is the 4. So in this row, I need a 6 and an 8. So this is 6 or 8, but the 8 is looking up, making that the 6, which makes that 8 and that 6, which looks back, making that 7, looking all the way down, making that 6 and that 7. The final 2 digits I haven't put are 8 and 9, and I'll use that 8 to make that the 9 and that the 8. And that is the solution to the puzzle. 405 solves in 396 days. So in over a year, this has had 405 solves. Let's see if we can double the solve count of this puzzle in one day. I think we can. Thank you, Willpower, for a really interesting puzzle. And I agree, this looked more daunting than it was. So always fun when that happens. But I did have to think, and that's what I like in a puzzle. Just something to give me 20 minutes. I like coffee break puzzles, and I like sharing coffee break puzzles. Something that someone can open the video in the morning before work. They've just done their travel, got into the office. They've just sat down and they've say, before I start my grind, I'm just going to knock out a puzzle. Or they've just got out of a bad meeting and they just want to do a puzzle to de-stress or something like that. They're the sort of puzzles I want to offer, not one where you have to sit down and give up your entire evening. Sometimes I'll offer those, sure, but being able to offer puzzles which aren't that, because for me, it's not about the watch time. I know watch time means more money, but that's not what I'm interested in. I would prefer you to know that you can come here and get a puzzle that will just fit your need for the day. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you enjoy it. And as always, good luck with your solving.